All right. I think when your head, heart, and gut are all in alignment, you can achieve anything you want. I think your head, heart, and gut all needs to be in alignment. And when those three things come in alignment, I really believe you can achieve anything you want. That's what happened to me. I think that's what happened to me first. Besides, hunger, like ability and expertise, that came later. But the things that aligned for me first was the head, the heart, and the gut, because I was searching. I was searching for a career, something I could do with myself, something I could see myself doing the rest of my life, something I wouldn't get bored in, something I could be creative, something I could have my own business. I didn't have to deal with mean bosses anymore. I had a couple of those back in the day. And so, it was a head game for a while, trying to figure out, what I'm going to like. I thought it was going to be like pet grooming at one point, and I kind of started with that a little bit because I like animals a lot. But I didn't like all the hair, man. It was like the hair made me itch. And it was just felt like it was like a dirty job. So props to out there, all those, groomers out there. I did it for a little bit. It's a tough job. And it just wasn't for me. I did aesthetics. I went to school called Rollers here in town, and learned to be an esthetician. And it was, oh man, I was already like knee deep in it, already paid for it. When I figured out it just wasn't for me, man. I just did not like touching people intimately and like caressing them and being like soft and intimate. I had no idea up to that point of my life that felt uncomfortable for me. But once we got to the part where I had to start doing facials on people, and the school was open to the public. They charged like a really super low price, and we would, have the public come in. And it was when they opened the doors to the public, when we were like practicing on each other like students, it wasn't that bad. I didn't like completely dig it, but I thought, well, I'll get used to this. But when they opened the doors to the public and I started like doing like facials on complete strangers, like I almost had panic attacks, man. My anxiety like went through the roof, and it was horrible. It was horrible what I felt. And I even went to my teacher and I'm like, I don't want to do facials. I'll wax. I'll wax. I'll do regular makeup. Do you have a course on like stage makeup? Like, like if like bruises and, special effects makeup. I said, but I just don't want to do facials. And I think I think she could see in my face, that I was in the midst of a panic attack, man, and having a lot of anxiety about it. And so she didn't make me do that like the rest of the course. And I ended up waxing. And that wasn't so bad because I got to rip the hairs like out of their skin, and it hurt them a little bit. And, and it was like, then I'd slap the skin so it didn't hurt, but it was quick. It was like rip it, slap the hot wax, rip it off, 15 minutes, they're out the door. It's like gone. Next, and with facials, it was like a whole hour and like spa music, and I had to like rub their face. And, that's just not me. Made me super uncomfortable. I think it's like the intimacy thing. So I knew I couldn't be a facialist, and thank God there's, do you know, I don't like getting facials. I don't. Do you, Olivia?
Yeah.
You like getting facials? I do not like getting facials. I don't. I've gotten a couple as gifts. One even maybe like, well, we went to Costa Rica maybe 5 years ago, and we got a facial, and I don't dig it. But I like a massage. I love getting a massage, but something about the face, I don't know. So it goes both ways. I don't want to give a facial, and I don't want to get a facial. It's odd. It's odd. I don't know. I can't explain it. But anyway, let's get back to the head thing. So I'm in my head, and I'm searching. And to make a long story short, a lady entered the aesthetic program. She was just retiring from PMU, permanent makeup. Didn't know what that was. She explained it. I went to her house. I played with her machine. We did my eyebrows. And then 2 weeks later, I bring my mom with me, and that was it. I just immediately, this is me. This is me. I am going to do this. So I got the head thing. Squared away, made a plan, right? So part of the head game is you got to make a plan. You got to be strategic. You got to think about all the details, not just getting into PMU, but once you're in PMU, once you decide what you want to do with your career, how you see your career going, where you see yourself. Ask yourself, where do I see myself in 5 years? Where do I see myself in 10 years? What do I want for myself in my career in 5 years? What do I want for myself in my career in 10 years? Think about those things. Write them down. Have a plan. Be strategic. Think about every detail. Envision it. And when you're envisioning it, it's almost like a movie. You want it to be like a movie running in your head. You can actually see yourself doing it. It's in living color. That's the head part of it. And hopefully your heart follows your head. Hopefully you've picked something that you love. You absolutely have fallen in love with it. You could do it if you never got paid. I get we all want to be paid and need to be paid, but you could do this if you didn't get paid. That's how much you love it. And when your heart follows your head, you just have this passion, and it just fills your soul. You're happy. You just feel so good. It's like your heart and head is in alignment. You're on the right track. You're doing something you love. You got a plan. Now, throw in that gut. That gut is going to keep you safe. That feeling we feel in our gut, that ting we feel, that is not by accident. That's not just a thing. That is there by masterful design. That feeling in our gut, that gut feeling, that is our warning signal. That was instilled in us to warn us. That's the human body's warning signal. And always listen to it. And there's going to be, well, let me talk firsthand. Throughout my career, there's been hundreds, if not thousands, of moments where I had to follow my gut. And so will you. Sometimes we have to make really tough decisions. Sometimes you don't know, this way or that. Follow your gut. Your gut will never steer you wrong. It's like and when you don't listen to your gut, usually you wished that you had. You end up telling yourself, I knew it. My gut told I knew it. I've done that in the past. I've done it recently. It's not like we're ever perfect, but your head, your heart, and your gut, when those three things come into alignment, honestly, believe me when I tell you, you can achieve anything you want. Opportunity. We're all wanting the opportunity, right? To do something. We want the opportunity to work on that client. Some people in PMU want the opportunity to teach a class one day. Some artists want the opportunity to stand on a stage with, 300, 400, 500 people in the audience and lecture on a topic they feel so passionately about. Some people want the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of artists. Opportunity. Opportunity, it doesn't just happen. So don't just sit around and wait for it. You have to seek opportunity and you have to seize it. You have to seek and seize opportunity. Life is short, so you have to take the shot. Sometimes, as you're out there seeking and seizing opportunity, you don't always feel prepared. You don't always feel worthy. These are some feelings I deal with all the fucking time. I launch a lot of products. I launch a lot of products, classes, and every single product, every single new class I launch, you go through this plethora of emotions, and sometimes they're not always good emotions. Sometimes you feel it's just not quite ready. I need to add this and this and this, or I don't know if you just go through these self-doubt, feelings, these insecure feelings, because you want so badly for it to be the best it can be. You want it to be received really well by your colleagues. I mean, you guys, PMU artists, you are my peers. You're my community. So when I do a class, when I launch a project or, a new something, a product, I'm doing it with you all in mind, and I put my heart and soul into it like a lot of people. And when I'm ready to turn it over to you, you want so badly for it to be well received. You want it so badly to be helpful to a lot of people. And, that kind of pressure can, it can make you feel super insecure, and it can be tough sometimes. But I also think that kind of pressure is what helps me personally make sure that the product or whatever I'm launching is of high integrity and quality, that pressure that I put on myself. So I don't know as if it's necessarily a bad thing. I think it serves to work in a positive fashion, but it can be super brutal on us, right? I mean, super brutal. But if that's what we have to go through, to keep creating content and classes and be innovators and putting really great stuff out into the industry, then that's what we have to go through. We're willing to accept, the beating that we take. So, just be attentive, be alert, and be an opportunity seeker, because a lot of times it's just not going to show up for you. In my DMs a lot, I get asked, how do I put myself in a position to be asked to speak at these conferences? How do I, um, you know, launch, this particular product? I got an idea for a product. How do I do that? How do I do this? I get asked that a lot, and that's a difficult question. It's not a one answer like question at all. That's something like I can't just text them like a paragraph and tell them how to do that. I mean, my story is 22 years long. There's a lot behind the answer I would want to give them. There's a lot of things I would want to say to them, and for that reason, I'm gonna get into coaching, business coaching and mentoring, I'm excited. I'm excited to do that and start working on that this summer. That will be one of my next big projects, is to kind of pivot over into coaching, which I'm excited about. But seek and seize opportunity. Don't wait around for it. Life is short. Your career is shorter. And so you got to take the shot. And like I said, you're not always going to feel prepared for the opportunity. But you can't overthink it, man. And you know what? If you're not prepared, or if there's something you're not quite sure about, seize that goddamn opportunity. Gosh dang opportunity. Sorry, I shouldn't have taken the Lord's name in vain. But and figure it out along the way. Just figure it out along the way. Don't pass up an opportunity just because you don't feel prepared. Figure it out along the way. Okay?